What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I had to work late, and then I had to record all the fights, which I was pretty upset because I like to watch them live. But I basically had to silence all the alerts on my phone. I couldn't go on any social networks, and I didn't talk to any of my friends that I know watch boxing, anything, because I didn't want any spoilers. I just watched all the fights, and wow, that's all I could say. Wow. Um, this is a reminder. There's a lot of reminders. There's been a lot this year, but this is definitely a reminder why I'm a fan of the sport of boxing. I just want to do some post fight commentary, and I'll start off with Josesito Lopez versus Marcos Rene Maidana. That's the fight I just watched most recently, and it was a barn burner. I mean, it was to be expected. Two fighters with heart, two warriors, two fighters with determination, and they put it all on the line. And it was an exciting fight. Early on, it was competitive. I don't have all the scorecards and everything because, like I said, it's late night. But early on, it was like round one. It was very competitive, back and forth. Round two, it looked like Maidana was imposing his power and size. Um, Round three was shocking because even the announcers were saying they didn't know if Josesito could hurt Maidana. And in round three, Josesito showed just that he could hurt Maidana, and he had him visibly buzzed during portions of this round. And it was definitely a confidence builder for Josesito because if you've seen him in the following rounds, like round four, you could see that his energy and his confidence level went up. A lot of people don't realize this, but when you think somebody your punches aren't affecting them, that does a lot to your morale. And when you actually see them visibly shaken up by your punches, especially if they're, what's worse is not only do you feel like your punches aren't hurting them, their punches are all hurting you. So that can do a lot to demoralize somebody. But it looked like there was a surge of energy when Josecito seen that he was able to actually shake Marcos Maidana up. Um, there was something in the fight. It was ruled a slip. Either way, it was a definite great confidence booster for Josecito Lopez. Just feeling rejuvenated and re-energized. So he looked good in the fourth round, very competitive. One thing that I have to admit, I've said this before, I don't know what it is. Maybe working with Robert Garcia, because I mean that's the last thing that's changed that I could attribute this to, because he didn't look like how he's been looking against Soto Caras and Josecito Lopez in the fight with Devin Alexander. So I'm attributing it to Robert Garcia because that's when he picked him up. But I really like the work that Robert Garcia is doing with Marcos Maidana. It shows you that Marcos Maidana is willing to learn, and I'm just seeing him overall more of a well-rounded boxer as opposed to, and don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's like technically sound like a Rigondeaux or a Mayweather or anybody like that, but he's exercising a lot more than he did previously. Before, to me, Marcos Maidana, like when he was fighting at 140, he was fighting off of heart, brute strength, and just instinct. Where now he's using those same skills, but he's also applying a little bit of calculation to it. He's a little bit more calculated. He's a little bit more composed. He's gathering himself. He's not punching himself out. Perfect example of this would be the Amir Khan fight with Marcos Maidana. He had Khan hurt to the point where he might have been able to get him out, but it appeared he gassed out. He punched himself out. So maybe it was his conditioning, maybe it was his mentality. But I've seen him more recently, and he's staying a lot more collected. He's not wasting punches and throwing as wild as he once did. He's utilizing a jab a lot more. I really seen this in the Soto Karass fight. He also used it in this fight, and he's just using overall better boxing, and that's what in round six. That's what initially caused the knockdown of Josecito. Josecito had to take a knee because he had a right to the body, and then Josecito was backing up, and then he followed it up with a right to the head, and that combination was enough to get Josecito to take a knee. And from that point, he seen that he was hurt, and he swarmed him, and he had Josecito in the corner. Some people dispute the stoppage in the 6th round. I don't, based solely on the fact of Josesito was taking big shots. He had already received a knockdown in that round. So despite it being a competitive fight, it's similar to Brandon Rios versus Mike Alvarado. The only people that are really going to argue the stoppage in like Alvarado Rios won or Maidana and Lopez won, to me, are the people who are selfish and really don't care about the fighter's safety. They just were entertained by the previous rounds, and they want, or they like to think that the fighter was okay to continue. But if you really analyze what happened and put it in perspective and take into consideration the fighter's health, the referee did the right thing, because one, Josesito got knocked down in the round. His legs looked bad. He was backed up in the corner against a heavy-handed person like Maidana, and he was taking multiple shots. And a lot of them were landing flush. There were some that were grazing, but a lot of them were landing flush. And his guard was pretty much defenseless. He wasn't throwing any punches back. So you have to take into consideration the fighter's health. And I think the referee did just that. And it was a proper stoppage. I have no problems with the stoppage, even though it was a good fight. And I would like to have seen if Josesito. I have no problem with the stoppage because, again, that was the right call to make. Josesito, I really like him. I don't think this loss is detrimental to his career. He's fan friendly. He seems humble. He has a good backstory, and he brings it every time. He really comes to fight. He has tremendous heart. I mean, he's going against his second fight at welterweight. He's going against a dangerous puncher, probably one of the most dangerous punchers at 147. His first fight, he fought someone as offensive and hard hitting as Victor Ortiz. He went up and faced Canelo at 154, a weight class he's never ventured. So, I mean, this kid got hard. He has tremendous heart. He's been around a lot longer than a lot of people think, but I mean, this kid got hard. Since he's at 147, I'd like to see a rematch with him and Jesse Vargas. I think that would be a good fight, and I would really like to see if the outcome would be different than the first. And I think Josesito stands a good chance to beat Vargas, and I think that would be a very good win for him. Don't know if it'll happen based on the Golden Boy top rank dispute. As far as Marcos Maidana, I mean, he's been in there with Eric Morales's, the Amir Khans. He's been in there with the Devin Alexanders. I think it's time for a big shot at the winner of Broner Malignaggi, something like that. I think he's deserving of a big fight. I really like Marcos Maidana. Again, he's a warrior. He's not the most technically sound, but he's improving, and it looks like he's willing to learn. So, hell of a night for boxing, hell of a fight. I was thoroughly entertained. This was something you would put in the mentions of a Fight of the Year candidate. Both fighters put it all on the line. I wouldn't even mind seeing a rematch with this, to be honest. But that's just my personal opinion. Marcos Maidana with the win, TKO in round 6. Josesito, no reason to hold your head down low. You had a good showing. And let me know what you guys think of this fight. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video's Ego, signing off.